Imagine waking up tomorrow. You grab your phone, expecting another ordinary morning. But every news channel, every social media feed, every satellite image shows the same impossible event. The oceans are gone, not frozen, not evaporated, simply gone. Overnight, more than 1.3 billion cubic kilometers of water have vanished without a trace. Coastlines stretch for hundreds of kilometers. Giant cargo ships rest helplessly on the exposed seafloor. Ancient landscapes, hidden for millions of years, lie beneath the morning sun. At first, it feels like humanity has discovered a brand new planet. But within hours, the celebration turns into terror. Because the oceans were never just water. They were Earth's heartbeat. And now, that heartbeat has stopped. At first, nobody panics. In fact, millions of people celebrate. Families drive toward the coast. News helicopters fill the sky. Every beach becomes packed with people desperate to witness history. For the first time, humanity can
A
see
vast
the true
ocean
floor of the
floor
oceans.
Endless
Endless valleys,
gigantic mountain ranges
taller than
exposed
the
by
Alps,
time,
giant underwater
deep trenches and
volcanoes,
ancient shipwrecks
and ancient
hidden for
shipwrecks
millennia.
untouched for centuries. Social media explodes. Videos of the exposed ocean spread faster than any event in human history. Some call it the greatest discovery mankind has ever made. But while billions of eyes stare downward, almost nobody looks up, because above them, the sky has already begun to change. At first, nobody notices. The sun still rises. The wind still blows. Birds continue to fly across the empty horizon. It almost feels normal. But Earth has already begun to die. The oceans once absorbed enormous amounts of heat every single day. They stored it, moved it, and slowly released it back into the atmosphere. Without that invisible engine, the climate begins to unravel. Coastal winds suddenly disappear. Humidity drops. Clouds begin to dissolve. Regions that depended on the ocean for rain become strangely silent. Within hours, temperatures start behaving in ways meteorologists have never seen before. Some places become unbearably hot. Others begin cooling far too quickly. Humanity is still looking down, while the real disaster is unfolding above their heads. Then, the silence begins. It doesn't happen everywhere at once. It starts with thousands, then millions, then billions of living creatures. Whales, trapped inside deep underwater valleys, unable to move. Sharks, lying helplessly across endless stretches of exposed seabed. Entire coral reefs begin dying under direct sunlight. Every second, another species disappears. Within just a few hours, the largest mass extinction in Earth's history is already underway. The smell reaches the coastline first. An unbearable mixture of salt, decay, and death. Rescue teams rush toward the former ocean, but there is nothing they can do. There are simply too many lives, and not enough time. Humanity suddenly realizes this isn't a miracle. It's the beginning of the end. From space, Earth no longer looks like Earth. The brilliant blue oceans, the feature that made our planet unique, have vanished. In their place lie colossal scars stretching across the globe. Mountain ranges once hidden beneath kilometers of water now rise into the sunlight. Deep ocean trenches, some deeper than Mount Everest is tall, cut across the planet like enormous wounds. For billions of years, these places remained untouched. No human had ever seen them. Until now, satellites reveal a world that looks more like Mars than the home we've always known. But something even more terrifying is happening. The air itself is beginning to change. Most people think the greatest danger would be thirst. They're wrong. Long before humanity runs out of drinking water, the planet begins to lose something far more important: oxygen. Every second of every day, countless microscopic organisms floating near the ocean's surface quietly produce an enormous share of Earth's oxygen. Invisible, forgotten, yet absolutely essential. The moment the oceans disappear, that invisible factory shuts down. At first, nobody notices. The air still feels normal. People continue working, driving, laughing, Completely unaware that Earth's life support system has been switched off, scientists know the truth. This isn't a temporary disaster. It's a countdown that cannot be stopped. At first, supermarkets are still full. Trucks continue delivering food. Restaurants remain open. Life seems almost normal. But the countdown has already reached the farms. Without the oceans, rainfall begins to disappear across entire continents. Rivers shrink. Reservoirs fall to record lows. Fields that once stretched to the horizon turn brown. Crops stop growing. Wheat, corn, rice. Harvests fail one after another. Farmers watch an entire year's work die beneath a cloudless sky. Governments release emergency food reserves. But everyone knows they won't last forever. For the first time in modern history, humanity realizes it cannot grow enough food to feed itself. The first people to leave are the ones who understand what's coming. Scientists, farmers, engineers. Then everyone else follows. Entire cities begin to empty. Highways become endless rivers of cars. Airports overflow with desperate families searching for anywhere that still has fresh water and food. Governments close their borders, but millions keep moving. Some travel for hundreds of miles. Others never reach their destination. Satellites capture something never seen before. Humanity is on the move. The greatest migration in history has begun, but there is one terrifying problem. There is nowhere left to run. 10 years later, Earth is almost unrecognizable. The oceans are now endless deserts, stretching farther than the eye can see. Once busy shipping lanes have become forgotten highways of rust. Thousands of giant cargo ships remain exactly where the water abandoned them. Nature has not recovered. It has adapted. Strange plants grow inside the deepest ocean trenches, where moisture still lingers. Dust storms sweep across landscapes that were once beneath miles of water. Entire coastal cities have been abandoned. Their harbors now sit hundreds of kilometers from the nearest drop of water. Humanity survives, but only in isolated regions where fresh water still exists. Civilization didn't disappear. It became something completely different. 100 years later, the world no longer remembers the sound of waves. Children grow up hearing stories about oceans, the way we tell stories about dragons. The beaches are gone. The tides are gone. The endless blue horizon exists only in photographs. The deepest trenches have become vast canyons. Once hidden beneath crushing pressure, they are now open to the sky. Entire mountain ranges have become new continents. Weather patterns have stabilized, but the planet is colder, drier, and far less alive. Humanity survives, but in a world our ancestors would never recognize. The oceans didn't just disappear. They took an entire chapter of Earth's history with them. But imagine something even stranger. After 100 years, the impossible happens. Without warning, every drop of water returns, not as rain, not as rivers, but instantly, exactly where the oceans once existed. In a single heartbeat, billions of cubic kilometers of water crash back onto Earth's surface. Waves taller than skyscrapers race across the planet. Entire mountain ranges disappear beneath the sea once again. Cities built inside ancient ocean trenches vanish in minutes. Humanity survives the disappearance, only to face the return. We often believe that Earth belongs to us, that we control it, shape it, master it. But the truth is the exact opposite. Every breath, every harvest, every city, every civilization exists because this planet allows it. Change just one thing, one ocean, one current, one balance, and everything changes. Maybe the greatest what if isn't imagining impossible worlds. Maybe it's realizing how unbelievably perfect our own world already is. Because the greatest miracle was never hiding in space. It was always beneath the waves. What if the oceans disappeared? Hopefully, we'll never find out. Hunger wasn't the only crisis. It was simply the first domino. Within weeks, global markets began to collapse. The world's largest ports, fell silent. Container ships, once carrying millions of tons of cargo, now stood stranded on an endless desert. International trade stopped. Oil, food, medicine, everything depended on the oceans. And without them, the global economy simply broke. Stock markets crashed harder than ever before. Banks closed their doors. Currencies lost their value almost overnight. Factories shut down one after another. Millions lost their jobs. Entire industries disappeared. The internet was still online, but there was almost nothing left to buy. Humanity had built a civilization connected by the sea. The moment the oceans disappeared, that connection was severed. For the first time in centuries, the global economy became local, and for billions of people, survival became more valuable than money. As humanity struggled to survive, another story was unfolding. Hidden beneath the oceans for millions of years, an entirely new world had emerged. Mountain ranges, larger than anything on land. Volcanoes, taller than Everest. Endless canyons, stretching farther than the Grand Canyon itself. Entire forests of black volcanic rock, untouched since the birth of civilization. Ancient shipwrecks, lost cities, forgotten battlefields, suddenly stood beneath the open sky. It was the greatest archaeological discovery in human history. Every expedition uncovered something impossible. Every kilometer revealed another secret that the oceans had protected for thousands, sometimes millions, of years. Humanity had always believed that we knew our planet. We were wrong. We had only seen its surface. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean lies the deepest place on Earth, the Mariana Trench. For millions of years, it remained hidden beneath nearly 11 kilometers of water, a place so deep that Mount Everest would stand inside it, and its summit would still remain far below sea level. But now, for the first time in history, the trench is open to the sky. Towering cliffs rise higher than anything humans have ever built. Ancient rock formations, shaped over hundreds of millions of years, stand exposed to sunlight for the very first time. The silence is overwhelming. No waves, no currents, no life, only stone, stretching into unimaginable darkness. Standing at its edge, you don't feel like you're looking into a canyon. You feel like you're looking into another world, a place that Earth kept hidden until now. Nature never gives up. Even after the greatest catastrophe in Earth's history, life searches for a way forward. Deep inside the enormous ocean canyons, underground springs continue to flow. Rain still falls, though far less often. Water gathers in the deepest valleys, creating thousands of new lakes. Rivers carve fresh paths through landscapes that had never seen sunlight before. Seeds carried by the wind begin to grow. Moss covers the rocks, then grass, then forests. Decade after decade, a completely new world begins to emerge. Not the Earth we lost, but another Earth. Different, wilder, unfamiliar, yet alive. Hundreds of years have passed since the oceans disappeared. Humanity is no longer the dominant force it once was. The giant cities of the past are now ancient ruins. Skyscrapers have become mountains of metal and stone. Roads have vanished beneath forests. Satellites have fallen from the sky. The machines that once connected the world are silent, but humans survived, not by controlling the planet, but by learning to live with it. Small communities formed around the last sources of fresh water. They built cities inside canyons, beneath the protection of mountains, and alongside the new rivers of Earth. They no longer saw nature as something to conquer. They saw it as something to protect. Because the greatest lesson humanity learned was not how to survive without the oceans. It was how much we depended on them. After imagining a world without oceans, something becomes clear. The ocean was never just water. It was the heartbeat of our planet. Every wave carried energy across the Earth. Every current connected continents. Every creature beneath the surface was part of a system older than humanity itself. We often look at the ocean and see only a horizon, but beneath those waves was an entire world, a world of mountains, forests, creatures we have barely discovered, a world that existed long before us and could continue long after us. The scary part isn't imagining the oceans disappearing. The scary part is realizing how much we would lose. Not just water, not just animals, but a piece of what makes Earth, Earth, because our planet is not a machine. It is a living system, and we are not its owners. We are a part of it,